Welcome back, guys. We have a quarantine video for you to explain what is going to happen or what's already happened since we've left. So yeah, we can jump right into it. We got sent home between like the 12th and the 19th. Those were the dates we had to leave Mostar. That was of March. And then a week after that, on the 23rd, we started classes. And then a week after that, they changed the schedule. So yeah, we'll probably do something later on to explain the schedule more. And what we do in quarantine.
So basically, I can give you one of the an overview of how the IB has actually modified the school year for us for May 2020 graduates. And basically, our exams have been cancelled, so no second year is going to take an exam in May. They're gonna put us a grade based on our IAs and our and other assignments that we have completed throughout the year, and each teacher actually puts us a predict grade, and then the IB goes on into checking if that grade is good enough for the student or it has to be changed.
For the second years and what the evacuation means for us is basically no prom, no graduation, or at least Zoom graduation. So
I mean, but we are looking into like seeing if we can combine your graduation with ours next year, which could happen, hopefully.
It's a likely scenario. So second years, we actually don't have classes now because our school year has pretty much ended. And there's the group 6 subjects that we have the final deadlines in April 30th. So technically after that, all second years have graduated.
Yeah, there are a lot of teachers who are offering like extra classes if you want to learn more and study more, or just revise topics that you already learned in some classes. So that's really nice from our teachers.
How do you guys feel about being sent home?
I don't remember the last time that I feel here. I don't know. I feel like almost 2 months stuck in my house. So yeah, it's been an interesting experience.
And also, like, at least for me, it's kind of, you're really looking forward for these last 2 months of the best 2 years of your life, at least so far for me, because it's kind of, you want to make sure that you create a nice ending in this whole experience. And it just that the way that we left Mostar, at least for me, and I know for many second years.
Comment F in chat for Ella.
And yeah, it was just a very confusing and interesting feeling, at least for me, but mostly sad. Like, I can say I was pretty sad when I left Mostar.
It was everything so fast. We had to say goodbye to not only our careers,
yeah,
our second year. Like,
I mean, we had an assembly. What I think it was like a week or something, or maybe even less than that, a couple of days before we left, saying like we don't think it's going to be that bad. And then things changed within the region, like borders started closing and schools within B&H started closing as well. And at that point, it was kind of like, okay, we all need to leave now. And I think like none of us realized. I mean, like there was only a couple of people who went home the week before, and then like the week after that, everyone was gone, and it was all so fast. First years, it was more like we lost a lot of traditions within the school. We lost a lot of, like, we didn't get a chance to say goodbye to all of our second years like we would have wanted to.
For second years, it was always like throughout the whole time, because like we didn't get to say bye to our co-years, you know, like we spent almost 2 years with them, and like some of them just went in time like of 2 hours like before they were saying, you know, bye. Yeah, so that was sad. But the thing is, you firsties, you have time to, you know, like do the stuff next year, like do the old traditions that you missed this year. But you know, us as second years, it makes sad that you didn't live through them with us, like all the traditions we were supposed to do together.
Kind of, you realize how much you share with someone and how much you have lived with them. And it's kind of like they have become like your family, certain people, you know? And then they come to you like one night and they tell you, I'm leaving tomorrow because my country is closing the borders. And I'm like, what do you mean you're leaving tomorrow? Like, what? And then you just sit there, you stare at them, you hug them, you cry, and they leave.
Yeah.
So that's not kind of how it's supposed to work.
And we spent our last days in Mostar studying because we didn't know that we had to leave.
Yeah,
Also,
and like
Here we
Hi,
must mention also that school also did not leave us alone in that time. They, of course, provided the support for the second years. If they wanted to transfer their diploma to a different school, our IB coordinator, Selma, would happily transfer it and offer guidance on how to do it. They even, on the last days where there was everyone was in panic and we couldn't actually think clearly, but they still provided some accommodations, maybe even bus transport to Croatia so we could cross borders even in the last minute. So they really fight for us. They did quite a good job in this situation.
yeah,
I was very like happy seeing how my school actually supported us in such situations. And I can say it was like a time when they looked up on our mental health and tried their best to make sure that we deserve as best of a goodbye as we can get.
Well, our second years are having a pass and can do the IB diploma without their exams. We as first years still need to study. So the school has organized some Zoom lessons for us daily. Actually, we received some new schedules that we started the week after we all returned home, and then also later changed because of the daylight savings time, and it has been pretty well so far. What do you think?
For example, in Mostar time, which is that Central European time, I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Central European time. It starts at 12 and finishes at 6 p.m. So yeah, that's kind of how that's working with like breaks and stuff for eating and things like this. Which I think they tried to make it the best they can for all the time zones, but obviously it's really difficult to make that right. So there's people in like Central America and Canada and like Asia and stuff that are having really difficult times with time zones. But for that, we're trying to record all the classes and they can catch up on their own.
And I really think that the school is doing like a great job. If I compare the situation with my previous school, they don't have classes and they are gonna have like the finals in 1 month. So, yeah.
Definitely. And I think like I mean, I don't know about you guys, I think because we all take quite different subjects here, but my teachers for my subjects are doing quite well with Zoom. Like, I mean, definitely some are better than others, but like in general, we're doing like very well on Zoom with deadlines like EE and IA, which I mean, extended essay and internal assessments for classes and stuff. We're starting them earlier now while we have more time in quarantine, which I think is a good thing. I mean, other people might disagree with me on that, but I like the fact that we're doing that. In terms of first year finals, we usually in May, like I think it's before the second years take their final exams, right?
At the same time.
Okay.
Like you start from the middle because we have 3 weeks, and you start from the second week till the end.
So yeah, we would usually be having like final exams to get predicted grades for university around like the same time as second years will be having their final exams. And so they've said that they're going to move those and they're going to put them like sometime after we come back. And so we'll still have our predicted grades for uni, although they might come a bit later, which I mean, I think that's a good thing. Sadly, it does mean that we have to like keep up over summer, but that's probably a good thing anyway.
Okay. So we're also gonna prepare for you another video that is going to portray how a life in quarantine looks for us. So yeah, we're just gonna keep you informed about what activities we're doing and how we're coping with the whole situation.
Follow our Instagram here because we're hopefully going to do a Q&A. And so we're going to ask questions for that. So please go on there, ask questions, especially to the future firsties. We want to know what you want to know so that we can answer it. And like and subscribe for more content, of course.
Yes, and stay home.
Yeah, and stay home, of course. Follow the guidelines of the country and stay home.